Hey you guys, so does anybody ever call you and then ask who they're speaking to? I get that once in a while and it kind of drives me nuts. Hello? It's Trey. Oh. Yeah, how you doing? Okay. All right, sure. Bye. Hello? It's Trey. Oh, hey. Okay. No, I won't do that. Okay, bye. Hello?
Hey, who is this?
It's Trey.
Trey who?
Trey Vittetoe. Who's this? That's a little pet peeve of mine, and today I want to share a story with you about how that got me in some hot water. So several years back, I was working for a publishing company. I've talked about that in my other videos. I started working at a company called Rondor Music. Later we were bought by Universal, so we moved over there. Rondor was owned by Herb Alpert and Jerry Moss. And if you don't know who Herb Alpert is from his performing days in the 60s, Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, you probably know those two guys from their label days because Alpert and Moss were the owners of A&M Records. So Rondor was the publishing arm of A&M Records. So when I came out here in the 90s, I was working for Rondor, and I started off just doing tape copy. Now I had a good relationship with Herb. And once in a while he'd come into my office with some music that needed editing. We'd hang out and talk a little bit. But I learned the hard way that Herb was one of those guys that when he would make a phone call, the first thing out of his mouth would be, "Hey, who is this?" So this is what happened. It was a very frustrating day. There was a lot going on. There were a lot of people that were making some unrealistic demands. I was feeling very stressed. All of a sudden there was this one phone call. I pick it up. Hello? The guy on the other end says, "Hey, who is this?" And I kind of reached my limit and I said, "This is Trey. Who's this?" And on the other end the guy says, "It's Herb Alpert." And I thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just scorched Herb Alpert on the phone, the owner of the company. So I kind of quickly apologized best I could, but it was kind of too late. Herb was still pretty cold on the phone. I knew that he was angry. And so after I got off the phone with him, I was so upset at myself. And it was funny, I had one of those old office phones that did not have a little screen telling me who was calling in. Many of the people in the office did. They just hadn't gotten around to putting one in my office. So the first thing I did after I hung up with Herb was I called the IT guy in the building and I said, "Hey, I must have a phone in my office that has the screen with the name of the person calling," which they got me one. But it was too late for this moment. And I was hoping that Herb would, get over it and be cool about it. But whether it was in the office or whether it was at parties or anything thereafter, there was always this distance between me and Herb Alpert that never existed before that. So I knew I'd sort of burned that bridge. But fortunately for me, Herb sold the company to Universal Music just a few years later. I didn't deal with Herb at all after that. But I will say, honestly, despite that circumstance between Herb and I, he was such a great guy. He really was a great friend to his employees, just a massive talent and wow, an iconic figure in music history. If you look at the acts that he signed over at A&M Records, and even some of the acts that he championed when nobody else was interested in them. So, great guy, and I really do wish him all the best. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed my little story today, and if you did, please like, please subscribe, please hit the notification bell so you can know when I put out new videos, and until next time,